All right, let's talk about something we all deal with, getting ready for meetings. We're going to look at how you can turn that chaotic, last-minute scramble into a serious strategic advantage. So picture this. You've got an important meeting in 15 minutes. Does your prep feel a bit like a frantic scavenger hunt? You get that jolt of adrenaline, realizing you need to get up to speed and you need to do it fast. Look, you're not alone. This frantic search is a super common and honestly stressful part of just about everyone's day. And you know what that scramble looks like, right? It's this messy, manual process. You're jumping between tabs, searching your inbox for that one crucial email. You're scrolling through endless Slack channels, trying to find your notes from the last call. And then you're just desperately trying to stitch it all together in your head. It's exhausting. And let's be real, it's not very effective. So at the end of that 15-minute dash, what do you have? You've collected a pile of facts. You have information. But here's the million-dollar question. Is it actually intelligence? Because believe me, there's a huge difference between the two. Okay, let's really dig into what that means. Information is just scattered, raw data. It's reactive. It tells you what already happened. Strategic intelligence, though, that's synthesized. It connects the dots for you, giving you proactive, contextual insight. It doesn't just tell you what happened, it tells you what matters right now. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Basic prep is gathering information. Anyone can do that. But professional prep, that's about turning that information into real strategic intelligence. It's the difference between walking in knowing a few facts and walking in with a clear plan. So how do you actually make that jump? Well, we're going to look at a tool called Rebel, which is built to do exactly this, to take all that noisy, scattered data you have and turn it into a clear strategic signal. So the way it works is with something called connectors. Think of them as secure bridges to the apps you already use every day. And here's the really important part, security. All your data, all the authentication tokens, everything is stored locally on your own device. Your information always stays yours. And the real power here comes from just how much it can connect to. We're talking about your entire digital workspace, your email and calendar, whether you use Google or Microsoft, your chats in Slack, your notes in Notion, your customer info in HubSpot or Salesforce. It connects to over 70 different services to give you one unified view of everything. But here's the key. It doesn't just access this data. It's not just a fancy search tool. It actually analyzes the language and patterns across all these different sources to understand and synthesize the information into one powerful pre-meeting briefing. And that briefing is built on what we can call the 4 pillars of professional preparation. This is where that strategic intelligence really becomes something you can use. So let's break them down. Okay, so these 4 pillars are a relationship health analysis, risk and opportunity flags, a summary of their strategic priorities, and finally, some personalized conversation coaching. Put them together and you get a complete picture that goes way, way beyond a simple list of what just happened. First up, relationship health. Now, this isn't just about your gut feeling. Rebel actually analyzes this sentiment and the language from your entire history with someone, emails, Slack messages, even old meeting transcripts, to give you a data-backed sense of where things really stand. Is the vibe positive? Is there some tension you might be missing? You'll know before you even walk in the room. Next, it proactively flags risks and opportunities for you. It scans all of that communication to find that one critical thing. Maybe it's the biggest blocker that's holding you up, or maybe it's the key opportunity that could change everything. This is the kind of insight that's almost impossible to spot when you're just manually scrambling through everything. The third pillar is figuring out their strategic priorities. By spotting recurring themes and keywords in all your recent conversations, Rebel tells you what's top of mind for the other person. This lets you focus the meeting on what they actually care about, which makes the whole conversation so much more productive. And finally, conversation coaching. Now, this is seriously cool. Rebel looks at your own history of what's worked before. Emails that got great replies, meetings that led to good outcomes, and it uses that data to suggest talking points and a communication style that's most likely to work with this specific person. It's personalized advice based on your own track record. But the value doesn't just stop when the meeting starts. The whole system is designed to create a full cycle, connecting your prep directly to what actually happens in the meeting. So here's how it works. After your meeting, Rebel can automatically link your original preparation notes directly to the meeting transcript. So now you have a single connected record of what you plan to talk about and what was actually said. And this This creates this incredible, continuous learning loop. The outcome of today's meeting becomes part of the data that preps you for the next one. So the system literally gets smarter about that relationship with every single interaction you have. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but what's the actual impact of switching from just grabbing information to having real strategic intelligence? Let's talk numbers. On average, users report saving 28 minutes of prep time for every single meeting. Now think about that. If you have, say, 5 or 6 important meetings a week, that's hours of your time just handed back to you. That's a huge gain in efficiency. But really, the biggest benefit here isn't just about saving time. It's about what you can do with that time and with that insight. It's about transforming prep from a stressful chore into the moment where you build a real strategic advantage. So you walk into every room, not just informed, but truly ready to lead. So here's the question to ask yourself before your next meeting. Are you going to walk in with scattered information, or are you going to walk in armed with strategic intelligence? Because that choice is what will define the outcome. Thanks for tuning in.